Some frontmen become the face of a band forever. Others get shown the door before the real success begins. Today, 10 bands that fired their frontman and became massive. Number 10, Van Halen. 5150 hit number 1 on Billboard 200 in April 1986, something Van Halen never achieved with David Lee Roth. Engineer Don Landy worked alongside the band on a polished sound as Sammy Hagar stepped in after Roth's firing in 1985. Songs like Why Can't This Be Love and Dreams showcased Hagar's melodic range, while Love Walks In proved the band could dominate FM radio without Diamond Dave's theatrical antics. The album sold over 6 million copies in the United States alone, launching an era that would produce 4 consecutive #1 albums. Eddie Van Halen found creative freedom he never had with Roth, and the Van Hagar era outsold the Roth years commercially. Purists still debate which version was better, but the Billboard charts don't lie. Bands like Extreme and Winger owe their melodic, hard rock approach to this transformation. Number 9, Black Sabbath. Sing me a song, you're a singer. Firing Ozzy Osbourne in April 1979 could have ended Black Sabbath entirely. Instead, guitarist Tony Iommi recruited Ronnie James Dio from Rainbow, and the band recorded Heaven and Hell at Criteria Studios in Miami with producer Martin Birch. The April 1980 release spawned Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, and the epic title track, reaching number 28 in the US and number 9 in the UK. The album sold over 3 million copies worldwide and introduced the devil horns gesture that Dio popularized throughout his career. Tony Iommi later admitted the band needed new blood after years of Ozzy's substance abuse derailing sessions. Dio's operatic vocals gave Sabbath a new dimension, influencing power metal bands like Manowar and shaping his own legendary solo career. The firing created 2 legendary acts instead of 1 dying band. Number 8, Iron Maiden. Formed in 1975 by bassist Steve Harris, Iron Maiden achieved early success with singer Paul Di'Anno on albums like Iron Maiden and Killers, but Di'Anno's drinking and erratic behavior forced Harris to fire him in December 1981. Bruce Dickinson arrived from Samson, and producer Martin Birch captured the band's new sound on The Number of the Beast in 1982 at Battery Studios in London. Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and the title track became metal anthems as the album hit number 1 in the UK. The album has sold over 14 million copies worldwide and launched Iron Maiden into arenas globally. Di'Anno faded into obscurity and legal troubles, while Dickinson's air raid siren vocals defined a generation. Bands from Helloween to Trivium cite this era as foundational to their sound. Before we continue with number 7, I want to hear from you. Which singer replacement do you think worked out best? Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. We have people tuning in from all over the world. Number 7, Deep Purple. Columbia Records watched Deep Purple implode in June 1973 when guitarist Ritchie Blackmore demanded the firing of singer Ian Gillan and bassist Roger Glover. Manager Tony Edwards recruited David Coverdale from a Red Car clothing shop and bassist Glenn Hughes from Trapeze. The The new lineup recorded at Musicland Studios in Munich and Burn emerged in February 1974 with tracks like Burn, Mistreated, and Sail Away. The album reached number 9 on Billboard 200 and sold over 3 million copies, proving Deep Purple could reinvent themselves after losing their classic Mark II lineup. Coverdale's bluesy rasp contrasted with Gillan's scream, and Hughes added soul influences that expanded the band's range. This era influenced hard rock bands from Whitesnake, which Coverdale later founded, to Dokken. Blackmore's gamble paid off artistically, even as personal tensions continued simmering backstage. Number 6. Anthrax. Neil Turbin was just 21 when Anthrax fired him in December 1984. After recording Fistful of Metal, guitarist Scott Ian and drummer Charlie Benante clashed with Turbin's ego, and the band recruited Joey Belladonna from a local cover band. Producer Carl Kennedy helped capture Belladonna's melodic approach on spreading the disease in October 1985, featuring Madhouse, Armed and Dangerous, and Medusa on Megaforce Records. The album sold over 500,000 copies and established Anthrax as one of thrash metal's big four, alongside Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth. Belladonna's clean vocals set Anthrax apart from their thrashier peers, and Among the Living in 1987 pushed them into arenas. Turbin faded into obscurity with minor bands, while Belladonna became an icon. Testament and Overkill later adopted similar melodic vocal approaches. One firing defined a genre's commercial potential. Number 5. Judas Priest. Before Rob Halford, Judas Priest struggled as a Birmingham pub band with original singer Al Atkins. Atkins departed in 1973 due to financial pressures, and the band recruited Halford from the local group Hiroshima. Producer Roger Bain captured early sessions, but it was 1976's Sad Wings of Destiny that revealed Halford's multi-octave range on tracks like Victim of Changes, The Ripper, and Dreamer Deceiver. The band eventually signed to Columbia Records and released British Steel in 1980, selling over 5 million copies worldwide. Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight became metal anthems, while Halford's leather and studs image defined heavy metal fashion for decades. Al Atkins remains a footnote, while Halford became the metal god. Accept and Primal Fear built entire careers channeling his influence. One departure created an immortal icon. What's your take? Which of these vocalist changes surprised you the most when it happened? Some of these decisions seemed crazy at the time. Drop your answer in the comments. Let's continue. Number 4. HELLOWEEN. The label called it career suicide when HELLOWEEN fired Michael Kiske in September 1993. Guitarist Michael Wycath clashed constantly with the operatic singer whose voice defined Keeper of the Seven Keys, Parts 1 and 2. Pink Cream 69 vocalist Andy Darris stepped in, and producer Tommy Newton captured the new sound on Master of the Rings in 1994 at Mi Sueño Studios, featuring Where the Rain Grows and Perfect Gentleman. The album sold over 400,000 copies in Germany alone and revitalized a band many considered finished. Kiske pursued experimental solo work while Darris delivered 15 studio albums with HELLOWEEN, outselling the Kiske era commercially. The Time of the Oath and Better Than Raw further cemented Darris as the definitive voice. Bands like Edgy and Gamma Ray show Kiske's influence, but HELLOWEEN thrived without him. The replacement outlasted the legend. Number 3. Dream Theater. The Berklee College of Music in Boston witnessed Dream Theater's formation in 1985 under the name Majesty. Original vocalist Chris Collins lasted months before Charlie Dominici took over for When Dream and Day Unite in 1989.
Lost in the sky, clouds roll by and I wrote them.
The album flopped, selling under 50,000 copies, and Mechanic Records dropped the band. Guitarist John Petrucci and drummer Mike Portnoy fired Dominici in 1989, citing his lack of range for their progressive compositions.
My life I've seen someone so fucking blind to the damage. It's time you're the rider who in the family.
Canadian singer James Labrie won an audition among 200 candidates in 1991. Producer David Prater captured his debut on Images and Words in 1992, and Pull Me Under reached number 10 on Billboard Mainstream Rock. The album sold over 2 million copies and launched progressive metal into mainstream consciousness. Symphony X and Fate's Warning shared DNA with Dream Theater's approach. Dominici got one chance while Labrie got 3 decades. Number 2, Exodus. Formed in Richmond, California in 1979, Exodus helped create Bay Area thrash metal with original vocalist Paul Bailoff. His unhinged energy powered early demos, but guitarist Gary Holt fired him in 1986 after internal conflicts derailed momentum. Steve Souza arrived from Legacy, and producer Mark Senesac captured the lineup on Pleasures of the Flesh in 1987 at Prairie Sun Studios, featuring Brain Dead and Chemikill. The album sold over 200,000 copies and proved Exodus could survive losing their charismatic frontman. Souza's technical precision offered range Bailoff never possessed, and Fabulous Disaster in 1989 pushed the band toward their commercial peak. Tragically, Bailoff returned in 1997 only to die of a stroke in 2002. Machine Head and Testament cite Exodus as foundational to thrash. One firing kept thrash metal's second wave alive when it could have ended. Number 1, Accept. Heavy metal could have lost Accept forever when Udo Dirkschneider departed in 1987 after Russian Roulette. The German Titans tried replacement singers, including David Rees for 1989's Eat the Heat, but the magic was gone. Then guitarist Wolf Hoffman recruited TT Quick vocalist Mark Tornillo in 2009. Producer Andy Sneap captured lightning in a bottle on Blood of the Nations in 2010 at Backstage Studios, featuring Teutonic Terror and The Abyss. The album sold over 300,000 copies and debuted at number 4 in Germany, their highest chart position ever. Critics called it the best Accept album since Balls to the Wall, and Tornillo's gritty voice matched Udo's ferocity while adding melodic depth. Accept toured arenas again after 2 decades in obscurity. Bands from Primal Fear to Rammstein acknowledge Accept's influence on Teutonic metal. The replacement singer delivered what the icon never could: redemption.